What could be scarier than telling your mind that you'll do one thing, but your body does another? Worse, not being aware that it's even happening to you. You could be on a treadmill at the gym, putting in that extra mile, and a friend comes by and says, "Look, I'm not your doctor, but I think you should get checked for Parkinson's."
Well, I was shocked. Why would somebody tell me that? I was actually offended by it.
Kimball Rogers couldn't bring himself to believe that there might be something wrong with him. He felt like if he didn't say the word Parkinson's out loud, he might be able to will it away. So, for a couple of years, he kept it to himself, until he started to notice a small tremor in his thumb, until he dropped out of church choir because he couldn't sing, and until he found himself standing for hours to relieve the clenching of his leg muscles. When he couldn't put it off any longer, he visited Dr. Schill, a neurologist at Barrow. She confirmed it was Parkinson's. Kimball joined support groups and began researching. That culminated in learning about 3 little letters. DBS stands for deep brain stimulation. It's almost like a switch inside the brain. You turn it on and the tremors, cramping, and weakness, gone. The surgery implants a filament into the brain, connected to a stimulator on the skull, which runs to a battery above the heart. It's often called a pacemaker for the brain. Now the question is, does Kimball Rogers really want this device in his brain?
I ask myself, do I really want probes in my brain? Do I really want holes drilled in the top of my head? The answer is yes.
So why does this work? We don't exactly know because, well, the brain is complicated.
Yeah, the brain is, I often say, and I don't think I'm exaggerating here, all the most complex structure in the known universe, and we don't understand it very deeply.
This is Bradley Greger. He's been a brain fan since science projects in the 4th grade.
I always like making the analogy, if you took your computer, stuck a wire into it, and pumped electricity into it, would it function better? Probably not. It probably would burst into flames or something. However, with DBS, the people who have real trouble, even just moving and walking, can get up and walk. It's amazing.
Dr. Greger began working with neurosurgeon Francisco Ponce, who has performed over 1,000 DBS procedures.
So what I think of it as is sort of doing 70 simple steps perfectly. And when you put that all together, you've got this masterpiece.
It's usually about a dozen people all working together like a coordinated symphony. And it is just an enormous amount of talent and technological capability working together in concert to achieve this really great thing.
During surgery, they use a set of electrodes to record communication between the motor areas of the brain and the subthalamic nucleus. The data collected is so complex that it requires supercomputers to find patterns in the recordings. But for those in the operating room, the electrical activity can be played through speakers and the team can hear the brain functioning in real time.
And if you think of, even like music, it's just electrical activity coming through a speaker. And so you can literally hear the sound of the activity in the brain. And it can kind of even help identify, is the brain functioning properly or not.
After surgery, the device is calibrated by Bluetooth. For Kimball, that meant 4 years of cramping pain in his leg just disappeared.
All I could feel was nothing, no pain. And it was just such a tender moment for me, because I felt like, okay, I can go on now. I can start living again. Things are going to be okay.
So much of the brain remains a mystery, and the more we understand the brain, the more we know how to treat the brain, whether it be Parkinson's and tremor, to novel indications such as depression, Alzheimer's disease, and obesity.
For now, Kimball Rogers is spending time with his grandchildren. He has 20, and his body feels more in sync with his brain. Maybe one day, when his grandchildren are all grown up, we will better understand how the human brain works. It might even be the recording of their grandfather's brain activity that contributes to those future answers.